Good morning, good evening, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Toonkind FPS. My name is Kieran, D.E.W.P, and I'm going to be playing with a wonderful person today. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hi there, my name is Whis. This is my second FPS for today. I cannot be stopped. I'm going to be playing little Miss Missy Ford today. She's not been out and about for a little while, so
Yes,
it's going to be fun.
We'll find out who I'm playing in a second. So Whis, what would you say Missy's up to? What's going on with Missy at the moment?
Well, Missy's kind of like her brother, fallen into a very comfortable routine. Chifley drops her off at kindergarten, and she does all the kindergarten-y things, learns lots, so she can write her name now, and kind of can read, so she knows she's doing well. And then Chifley will pick her up, and then she'll go home and do stuff with Chifley, and then go to bed, and then it all starts all over again. But she likes school. She likes playing with all the kids at school, but she also plays by herself sometimes. Rad has more friends than just her, so sometimes she's like, okay, Rad's playing with them. I'm going to go over here and play by the school wall just to, do that.
Yeah, she's got her own little adventure times that she takes to herself, perhaps. Just goes off and plays some imaginary... Oh no.
I think you cut out again, dude.
Cut out again.
Oh no.
This might happen frequently during the recording. We apologise.
Internet, why? Why do you condemn our FPS so?
Hello? You hear me? Am I speaking? Oh.
Hello? Yes.
Hello?
Yep. I can hear you now.
Does signal reach? Oh gosh.
Oh dear.
This is good. This is a good start. This is a good start.
Technical difficulties.
Oh man. Okay, so
I have the GIF.
yes. Oh good. In the GIF. That's a GIF. GIF. Oh. Right. Let me disconnect to see if that does anything. Hello.
Oh.
Hello. You hear me now?
Hello.
Hello. Did
Yes.
you hear me at all before?
Nope.
Oh joy. Okay, this is gonna be interesting FPS, people. Okay, cool.
We do our best with what we are given.
Yes, we must. Okay, where were we at? So we were at Missy playing by herself in the playground, I presume.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let me do a quick roll. Where is your feet? There is your feet. Let's not roll in the gallery. Right, so does Missy want to roll me a quick perception?
Sure, we can do that. It's not something she's especially good at, but
I rolled in the wrong place. Rolled in the wrong zone again. Oh well. Oh.
That is a 2. Missy sees nothing.
Okay, Missy sees nothing. So, do you want to describe to our listeners what kind of games Missy playing? You know, what kind of adventure she concocted?
Oh, well, when she plays by herself, she'll do like little, will build things out of sticks near the wall. Like she likes to try and climb the tree, even though the teachers say she's not supposed to try and climb the tree. And like she'll pick the little flowers, the little daisies that grow in the grass, and she'll have little tiny tea parties. She'll just do whatever comes to mind at the time.
Oh, that's really cute. Oh, I'm gonna do one more roll. Let's see how this goes. Okay. Okay. So, what's her passive perception?
Her passive is 9.
9. Oh. Okay. Okay. So she doesn't hear this then. She doesn't hear can hear this. So Missy, she's probably climbing the trees and picking the daisies. What would you say she's doing right now, especially?
I think she's picking daisies. She's like, I'm going to collect a whole bunch of these little flowers.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
they did flower pressing in their art class the other day. She's like, I'm going to press lots of flowers. So I have to pick
Aw,
all of the little tiny flowers.
very cute. Let me do one last thing. Okay. Okay. So Missy, while you were busy picking flowers, you didn't notice something come over the gates to the kindergarten, and you didn't notice this thing very slowly make its way up behind you, and didn't notice this thing. Actually, you may have noticed this thing as it very slowly reaches over your shoulder to pull one of the daisies out of your hand.
Okay, I'm going to do her a whiz save, which is, unlike her brother, not good at that. That is an 8.
Oh
That
no!
is an 8. She is going to drop all the flowers and whirl around and back up.
Oh dear.
Because what was that?
Okay. So
She hasn't screamed or anything, but she's like, ah!
so okay. So Missy, she can see as she turns around the thing that was reaching over her shoulder. It didn't look like a hand. It looked like a twig, but no, it looked like a root of some sort. It looked like a long root reaching out. And as she turns around, and she looks up because oh, this thing is very, very tall. This thing is very, very tall. It's a very big
Oh dear.
plant. It's she notices a very round body, like a horse's sort of body, but it is green and a very long neck, and on the end of that neck is a very large sunflower head, and it's looking down at Missy. It's not doing anything, but it's looking down at Missy. Its rooty foot is still
Yeah.
hovering in the air from where Missy was.
All right. I'm going to roll her a nature check, which is also not something she's good at, but I like rolling dice. That's a 6.
Okay.
Okay.
So
She's 5.
she is 5. It is a giant plant with a sunflower head. That's what she gets. That's what she gets.
She's going to look at it, and the surprise has worn off, and now she's like, whoa, that's a big flower.
Let me see. I'm gonna roll a quick insight. Let me see. Will they figure this out? Oh, they've got a surprisingly decent insight. Okay. So yeah, this thing's just looking at you. This giant sunflower head's just cocked to the side, and it cocks to the other side, and it cocks to the other side, and it puts its rooty foot on the floor, and it's just sort of cocking its head from side to side. And as it does, little petals on it swish and swish and swish, and it's still just looking at you.
Oh, she is enamored by this. Absolutely enamored. She's like, I don't think I've got a big enough book to press a flower that big. Oh, I gotta pick it and show everyone. And she's gonna try and climb them.
Okay, I'm gonna roll something because hang on. Da, 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 da. Um, you said you're gonna pick it. Let me see. Oh, nat 20. Okay.
That is a nat 20. Nice.
Dang. Okay, so despite you saying you're gonna pluck them and trying to climb on their back, um, this creature is not going to pluck you off. or fling you off, or run. 12.
Well, I just rolled her an acrobatics to climb
Oh
up
dear.
them.
Roll.
So she's doing pretty alright.
She's doing okay. She might as she climbs up, she might just slip against the side of it because it's a very smooth body, very smooth kind of stem body. It's got that sort of texture to it.
Mm,
Not easy to grip,
mm.
not super easy to grip, but it's not fighting her or anything. So I'd say she gets on it. So yeah, you're on the back of
And
the
she's just
thing
gonna
now.
sort of, she's gonna sit on it and be like, "Whew, that was a climb. Okay." And then she's gonna try and shimmy up to where the sunflower head kind of attaches to the body to see if there's a good place where she can. She's still under the impression that this is just a really big flower. She's still gonna pick the flower head off.
Okay. So
Never mind that I think its head is bigger than she is.
probably is. If you're shimmying forward, um, this flower, this big old flower thing, it's gonna turn its head back at you. It's not gonna turn it to the side. It's gonna turn it up and over. If that makes sense. So it's looking at you from the
Yep.
top. So now you have a giant sunflower head looking at you from the top. See? And let me roll. Yeah, let's roll that. Missy, roll me a deck save, please.
Dirty 20. Deck save. I can do a deck save.
Oh no!
That's an 8.
Okay, so this thing sees you reaching for it, and it tucks its head out of the way, and it goes towards the fence whilst you're still on its back, and it goes to
Oh
jump
dear.
over the fence, and with that
Oh
I don't know
no.
if you hold on very well.
Oh, she's trying. She's trying. She's probably not ridden a horse before.
No.
So it's probably more of a I am just clinging with every available limb rather than anything that even remotely resembles grace.
Okay.
But I don't think she falls off.
No. Let's just say the fence isn't very high. So if she does get jostled at all, it's not a whole lot. But yeah, no, this thing is clambering out of the gate. This thing is
And she's just like, oh my, oh gosh, this flower moves. Oh no.
oh man, oh Missy, this flower's gonna move. you okay? Do you want to roll me a quick strength? Just a quick strength save, please.
Straight or a save? A save?
Save, please.
All right, great.
Hey,
Hey, that's a nat 20.
So what happens is you feel something about this creature tense up because now it's standing on the road outside of the kindergarten, and it's looking both ways, and you can sort of feel a shiver. You can feel a shiver underneath it starting to go, and you instinctively tighten your grip on this thing. You tighten your grip on its neck, just by instinct, as this thing starts to bolt, and it's it's gonna cast Long Strider on itself. So it's going about
Oh
40.
gosh.
Yeah, it's going about 40 foot around. So Missy, that strength was to see if you could hang on, as this thing just
Yum.
gone.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, indeed. Yeah. So Missy,
Mm.
you're on the back of this giant plant creature. It has zoomed away from your kindergarten. You don't know where you're going. Yeah, that's the situation. You have been plant nabbed.
Well, apparently. I think it's going to take her a little, like a minute or two to actually process this and figure this out. And then she's going to yell at it, like, wait, stop, where are you going?
Man. Will it take heed? I'm gonna roll a quick perception. Will it even notice? Will it even notice you trying to ask it to stop? So it does hear you, but it doesn't slow down. Well, yeah, you get the impression this thing hears you. It's not slowing down.
Mm.
It's yeah, that thing keeps running. You want to roll me a quick survival? See if you know you're going.
Oh, okay, yeah. This can only go well. Hey, that's a 15. That's not too bad.
That's all right. So as this thing runs through the streets and jumps over cars and carts and dodges people out of the way, and this thing is barreling through people. It is not stopping. It is going. It is going, and that is all it is doing. It is going, and people will either move or it will make them move. It will go around them in a very squashy, stretchy kind of way. And yeah, with
Oh dear.
while that speed's going on, you do kind of notice this is a familiar path. You might recognise this path because maybe your brother takes you down here, or maybe you've been here with your friend before. You recognise that this is the way to the park.
Ooh.
They're heading towards the park.
Well, I mean, that makes sense to her. It's a plant. There's lots of plants at the park.
Yeah. So yeah, this thing dashes, and as you see it coming towards you, as you see the entrance of the park coming towards you, this thing is it's still dashing, it's still going like mad, but as it goes underneath the archway, I imagine it's like a sort of brick archway into this park. Don't ask me why, it might not be. I imagine as it comes into the
Mhm.
entrance, it starts to slow down a bit, and it starts to slow down a bit more, and it starts to slow down a little more, and then it's just sort of stopped in the middle of one of the park lanes. Like, you get those little walkways in the park. It's just stopped,
Mm.
and
Yep.
turns back to look at you, and it crouches down.
I'm just picturing once they're stopped, this is just his pause, and then Missy just lets go with all four limbs, and it's just like poof, straight onto her back on the grass.
Yeah, you see, as you fall
Her
off.
eyes are doing the swirly.
I'm gonna roll another perception. I'm gonna see if this thing even notices. Okay. I mean, you're not really trying to hide it. So this thing notices you fall off its back, and it turns to look at Mitty where she's fallen, and it sticks. it's gonna stick its head like right up close to Missy. It's gonna lean down, and it's gonna stick its head right in front of Missy's face. It's just gonna stare at Missy. She's very dizzy.
She's gonna shake her head to get the spirals out of her eyes, and then just look up at this giant sunflower that's like right up in her business. Hello?
Okay, as you say that, you see this thing lean back a little bit, and then you see one of its root feet come up, and it's slowly reaching towards you.
She'll shuffle backwards a smidge, but she's not like running away from it yet. She's like, what is it doing? What is it doing?
So yeah, as you shuffle back, this thing is still reaching towards you, and it reaches behind your ear, and it something and pulls it away. And yeah, it's Missy. It's just plucked a blade of grass out of your hair, and is now looking at it very intently.
She sort of tilts her head to one side a little bit and sits up a bit better, and then looks at the grass, and then looks up at this giant sunflower thing. Huh. Hey, do you talk?
This thing looks down at you, and it very slowly shakes its head from side to side. So pretty sure that means no.
Yeah. No, okay. Gosh. Why did you come did you want to play at the park? Is that why you brought me here?
Oh, at the word play, see, this thing's whole demeanor changes. The minute you say the word play, it drops the blade of grass. All four of its feet are on the ground, and its neck, like its head puffs up a little bit, like its petals get somehow larger, a little more vibrant maybe, and it starts tapping the front roots on the ground very excitedly.
Oh, she's just gonna gasp. It's like, it's a giant sunflower puppy. I'm gonna have her reach into her hemisphere really quick.
Oh.
That's not a one. And she's gonna pull out this. It's a small one, but it's a soccer ball.
Ooh.
And she's just gonna hold it up and be like, "Do you want to play with the ball?"
They're just gonna keep tapping their feet at you and wiggling. I forgot to mention they are wiggling. They're wiggling very excitedly. It's a whole body wiggle, and its head is wiggling, its neck is wiggling, its legs are wiggling, its whole body is wiggling. This thing is a big old wiggle machine right now. All it's doing is wiggling and looking at you.
That's great. She's gonna put the ball on the ground and she's gonna kick it. I want to roll something to kick it. I'll roll her strength. Why not? That's pretty alright. She'll kick it and it'll go through the grass.
They are going to. Oh, I should roll for this because they're gonna go. They're gonna try and catch that ball. They're gonna go and new mark that ball. And I'm going to roll straight deck, not a save. So that is that. 18.
Nice.
Right, cool. So the minute you kick the ball, Missy, this thing's head clocks it. It cracks it, and it does a little thing. Its wiggles start to center around its front legs, and it does a weird little handstand, then points itself towards the ball and gets off towards it. It just runs. It grabs the ball in one of its hands, and I'm gonna roll a quick strength because it's gonna throw the ball back at you. Oh.
Okay, that's a nat one.
So what I'm gonna say is, instead of it throws the ball, but instead of throwing it towards you, it throws it. It misses the point upon which it would throw towards you, and instead it throws down towards the ground, and the ball hits the ground and then bounces back up and pops it in the face.
Missy's just gonna break into giggles. Oh no! Why don't you kick it instead? That'll be better.
This thing's just sort of got like little swirly head. It's not got like swirls on it, but its head is doing like a little swirly motion, like it's been shake around a little bit, and then it's gonna shake its head
No.
side to side like a sort of thing, and it's gonna look at the ball.
Poor sunflower puppy.
I mean, he's trying their best. They're trying their best. Okay, look, they don't usually play with balls and things, but you know, they try their best. But and yeah, they're gonna pick up the ball, and I'm gonna roll a dex this time, just to make sure that it actually does a thing. Clickety clickety clack. No, please type. Oh, there we go. 8. Right, cool. Okay, so apparently
That's
balls
not a 1.
are not this thing's friend. So it picks this thing up and it chucks it towards you with both feet, and it goes a bit wide. It was aiming for you, but it's gone a bit wide. It's gone further into the brush. Like it would have gone towards you because you're in a sort of like an openish. You're still on the pathway. It's gone off the path and it's gone into the bushes.
Missy's gonna run after it. That was better.
Okay. Do you want to roll anything to find the ball, or do you just want to get the ball?
I'll roll her an investigation just because that sounds funny.
All
right. Especially given his own modifier is awful. That's a 13. That's not too bad.
That's not bad.
So I reckon she probably finds it pretty easy. Like she just sort of that thing where they stick their whole front half into the bush and then they kick their little legs a little bit before popping back out with the ball and covered in leaves.
I was gonna say,
I got it.
If you've stuck like your whole top half of yourself into a bush, the plant is gonna come over and try and tug you out. They probably would. They pick her up by her legs and they pull her out upside down. Is what they would do.
And she's just holding the ball in both hands. She's I got the ball. Do you want to try again?
This thing looks at you, and then it's got one root around both of your ankles, and it puts the other one underneath your head, and then it quickly turns you around, pops you upright, and then it backs away, and it starts to wiggle again, looking at you. And it slowly starts to wiggle and gets wigglier and wigglier.
She's gonna grin and she's gonna put the ball down again. I'm gonna do another strength. See how well she kicks the ball this time. Oh baby. She almost misses it. Like it just sort of skims it with the side of her foot, and it just sort of goes spin, and it sort of doesn't really actually go that far. Probably bounces into her new puppy's legs.
It does that little very slow spin sort of dribble that you get when you just whiff it, and it bumps against this plant, and the plant looks down at it, and it looks back at Missy, and it picks up the ball, and it's gonna do it again. It's gonna try and chuck it back at you.
She's right there. Oh no. This can only go well. 19. Oh, that's a 19.
It's not strength, mind you. That's
I'm going to do a strength save.
So yeah, this thing...
I'm still going to do a strength save.
Oh god. 21!
Okay. Okay. Alright.
Alright, so this thing flings... flings that ball at you, man. It flings it pretty dang hard. It seems to be aiming for your hands, at least, and not your face. So with your strength, you're able to catch it, even if it was given a welly. It was given a bit of welly. That thing was very hard.
It's a good catch, Missy. It's a good catch.
Very good catch.
I don't think we're doing very well with this ball. Maybe we should do something else. What else could we play?
Well, I mean, you are in a park. We are in a park. What would I mean, Miss? This is a park Missy's gone to before. Like this is one that Chifley has taken her to before, so she would probably know all the good spots. She would probably know where the nice swings are, all the nice slides, where the adventure bits are, where the little woodland and fieldy
Oh,
bits
she's
are.
gonna think about it for a second, snap her fingers. Like, let's go play in the sandpit. I reckon you'd be good at that.
So this giant plant thing looks down at you, and yeah, it's waiting for you to move. It's just gonna look at you, and it's gonna look off, and then it's gonna look back at you, as if to say, "Lead the way."
And she's gonna put the ball back in her hammer space, and she's gonna lead her new puppy over to the very large sand pit that is in this park, and she's going to pick her over the edge, and then just sort of sit down in the middle of the sand pit, and then pat the sand beside her as if to go, "Come on, come sit here."
Oh, it is that this thing is absolutely gonna climb into the sand pit and right down next to you. And as it thumps down, because this thing is, I haven't mentioned it. They said it's taller than Missy, but again, Missy is a toon child, and toon children can be pretty short. This thing is about the size of a large warhorse, very big, and it just
Giant
thumps,
puppy.
giant, very big. It just thumps bang down into the sand pit, and I just imagine as it thumps, it leaves a little groove of where its rear end was, and sand just pops up into the air.
Oh yeah, Missy's color palette has just been completely washed out and is now just that tan sand color, and she just does a little.
Oh, let me see. There. Let me roll perception. Let me see if it notices for one. Really hope it does. Please do. Please do. You're usually very good at this. 17. Okay, it notices you coughing on the sand and realizes, and maybe it realizes that hey, it might have caused that. Whoopsies. It's going to. Do I have this thingamajiggy? Oh, I don't have it. Oh, I thought I had prestidigitation. I do not. Okay. This thing instead is going to. It's going to It's going to do something a little weird. It's going to start. It's going to put two of its feet outside of the sandbox, and it's gonna put its roots into the ground. And Missy, you're covered in sand right now. Did you want to roll perception with disadvantage for me? Because I imagine you've got like sand in your eyes and such. It's
Sure.
really hard to see.
We'll see whether or not I need that disadvantage. Oh yeah, that's not too bad. Okay. Nope. 8.
Okay. So I'd say you notice it has partially left the sand pit and that it's doing something, but you don't really notice what. There's just sand in your hair, it's in your eyes, and a little bit's gone in your mouth. It's like sand pit sand is gross, icky. So you don't see it doing anything, and but you do feel something. You hear a noise, and then you feel a great gust of wind just wash over you, and it's blowing all the sand off. Yeah, it's blowing the sand off of you.
Oh my goodness. All of us, the sand is gone,
Sand is
but like her
gone.
hair has done that frop thing.
Yes, it's done the poof. And
Oh my goodness.
move the sand out of your
Like
eyes now.
she's not Ghiblian, but like it's a big
Yes.
poofy mess of hair, even though
Yes,
she's got it
sand
tied
does
up.
that. Sand in the hair does make it poof sometimes. It just gives it some volume.
And she's just sort of sitting there now, it's like, what the?
I'm
Oh, wow.
not gonna make you roll perception for this. I'm just gonna tell you what has happened. So Missy, now that the sand's out of your eyes and out of your mouth and out of your blech and everything, you look up and you see that this giant plant thing has its back legs planted outside of the sandbox, and don't know how you didn't notice before. It's got like a weird bud or like a little sort of ball for a tail, and it's
Mhm.
growing a little bit. What you definitely noticed something that wasn't there before. Before, when you got on this thing, it was like a smooth plant body. Now that you're looking at it, on the side, growing out of the side of this thing's body, there are two very large palm leaf wings. You're very big.
Oh. Ow.
Your puppy has wings.
Hey, that's cool. My puppy has wings.
Your puppy has wings.
Hey, that's cool. Oh, you could do that.
And this thing looks at you and it bobs its head up and down very eagerly as it draws its back legs out of the ground. You hear like as the roots come out of the ground, and it comes back into the sandpit and it sits down very gently. This time it goes instead of thumping onto its rear, it sets itself down, straight down, and it sort of does a little plant loaf.
Hmm.
It goes very plant loaf, so its roots are wrapped around outside of its body, and yeah, it's being very soft right now. It does not want to get more soft.
Missy has no idea what kind of animal this was. At first, it was like a horse, then it was like a puppy. Now it's doing cat. She's like, I have no idea what is going on with this plant, but it's not. I don't know. I am 5. I'm not smart enough for this.
Oh, she's not very smart. This is just a big new thing, a big new exciting thing.
She's just gonna sort of take that in and be like, okay, horse, puppy, cat, plant, sandpit. And she's just gonna reach into her hammer space. Again, that's not a 1. And she's gonna pull out like a plastic bucket and the shovel and the little rake. You know, the standard starter sand toy kit.
Yes.
And she's gonna offer the bucket up to her new friend.
Okay. This thing is gonna look at the bucket, and it's gonna take the bucket. And Missy doesn't know this, but this isn't the first time this thing has been given a bucket, and it's gonna do what it usually does when someone gives it a bucket, and it's gonna cast create water. So it's gonna stick a root into the bucket, and you're gonna hear a as this bucket starts to fill up with water, and it draws its root out, and now you have a bucket
Oh,
of
she
water.
is stunned. She's like, her eyes are sparkling. She's like, wow. And then she's like, you can see, even without rolling inside or anything, you can see the gears in her head turning. She's like, okay, water plus sand means we can build a whole bunch of stuff and oh, and she's all of a sudden working in a flurry. She's digging a moat and she's gonna put the water into the moat, and she's like, we're gonna build a sandcastle, 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 sandcastle.
Um, this thing doesn't know quite what you're saying, but it is very excited by your excitement, and it is going to help. It is going to be good, and it is going to help. I don't know how exactly. Oh, it might.
I don't know what we'd roll.
What would it roll? What would we roll to make a brilliant sandcastle? Sleight of hand, maybe, because it's a difficult sort of thing.
Yeah, Yeah, let's go sleight of hand.
Let's go sleight of hand. Sleight of hand to sandcastle.
That is a damn good sandcastle.
There's a brilliant sandcastle. So what happens with this sandcastle? So Missy, maybe you've been to the beach before, maybe you haven't, or maybe it's just because you are feeling especially artisty today. This sandcastle is the best sandcastle, in your opinion, you have ever seen. It's got lots of turrets. It's got a moat. It's got a working drawbridge, and the working drawbridge is because this big plant thing, it's put when you made like a little sand bridge, and it's weaved some of its roots as like actual working bridge. So you've got like a little bit of water
Oh,
that
that's
goes up and
amazing.
down, and the roots of this creature are what makes it go up and down. And nice little detailings on it. Put nice little pictures, like you've got proper nice brickwork, and the giant plant creature is very delicately sketching out little details of its root. And yeah, this sandcastle looks. This is a pucker sandcastle.
Oh, she's thrilled. Oh, she doesn't have a camera, but she wishes that she did. I wish I could show Chifley this. This is so cool. Ah, this is awesome.
As you put,
You're really good at sandcastles.
this thing looks at you, and it cocks its head and looks around because you said a name. You said a name, and it's trying to find the name. It can recognize the name. Where's the name? You said name.
What are you looking for?
Um, it's gonna
Not many people around.
it's gonna point at you. Well, it's gonna point at your mouth specifically. It's gonna point at your mouth, and then it's gonna make a loop around its head. Should I? I'm gonna roll something. Yeah, well, this thing communicates because it doesn't speak and it doesn't know sign. So, what the hell would I roll? Performance. Let's do performance.
Yeah, okay.
See how well you do. Oh,
Hey, that's a dirty 20.
yeah. So
Okay.
basically, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was just thinking I might roll an insight as well.
If you
What's
like.
her insight? -1. Oh, I didn't put the D in there. Oh no. I'm not doing too well today.
Okay.
18, that's still pretty damn good. Okay, so between the excellent performance
Yes.
and Missy having in that moment of clarity.
Yes. So yeah, you realise this thing. It heard you say a name, and it recognized a name, and you could tell this thing is looking for whoever you were just talking about because you wanted to see them. And
Oh, Jeff, you mean Chifley? Chifley's not here. Chifley will be at work.
this thing looks at
He's
you and it
usually at
nods
work.
its head eagerly as you say the name again. As you say the name again, and you want to roll me a dex save quick.
Sure. Oops. 12.
Okay, I'm gonna roll. Again. Let's see what I get. Hey, let's not do that today. Okay. So you managed to wiggle away as this thing goes to reach for you very quickly. You managed to get yourself out of the way. I'm just thinking with those rolls, with that dex, would we have knocked anything on the sandcastle? Because
Oh, yeah, possibly.
she
Maybe
scurry
one
back.
corner of it. Yeah, she'll like just sort of half jump back because she wasn't really expecting it to go for her, and then knock into one of the corners of the castle, and that corner just sort of collapses, and she just sort of looks at it. It's like, oh.
Oh, as you scuttle back, as this thing reaches, it freezes. It looks at the sandcastle and it looks at you, and it very slowly pulls its roots back, and its head starts to shrink down a little bit, and the big the pig wings it had on its back go flat, and it starts to shrink down. Oh no, it broke the thing. It made mess. It made another mess. Oh dear. Oh no.
I'm gonna roll an insight for her real quick. No.
Oh my god.
That is a 0. She has not noticed.
Oh my god. That's brilliant.
Missy, you dummy!
Look, man.
Unlike her brother, she's not particularly insightful, but anyway.
That's fair. She's so valid. I mean, she's just had a giant plant thing try to reach for her. Of course, she's not gonna notice how it's doing at the moment. Can I actually? Can I say with that insight? Can I say with that insight, she's like so concerned with the sandcastle at the moment. I'm gonna roll another thing.
Mm.
I'm gonna roll another thing. I should know this off by heart, but I. Oh well. Oh damn. Okay. I was gonna say because she's so worried with that insight. In fact, instead of inciting on this giant plant thing, she's like in her own head, and she's like, "Oh no, the sandcastle's broken, and I gotta fix it, and then I gotta start doing stuff with Chifley, and she's all up in her own head. So she doesn't notice this thing start to slip away. This thing
Aww.
this thing has slunk away. Yeah, I'd say after a time of being in her own heads, and looking at the sandcastle, I mean, I don't know if you wanted to try and fix it or if you just wanted to leave it. I'd leave that up to you. If you wanted.
She probably would try a little bit, but he's probably a little bit too upset to do a good job of it. But then she probably would try and like turn back to reassure her new friend that it's okay, they can still fix it. Are they gone?
They're gone. They're no longer in the sand pit. You can't see them in sight anywhere. Yeah, now you've been left in the sand pit.
Oh. She's gonna look around a bit. Where did you go?
You want to roll
Don't go.
investigation?
It's okay.
You want to roll
Yeah.
investigation? See if you can
Oh,
find any clues.
baby. It's my investigation. Oh, her investigation is shocking.
Oh.
That's a 9.
Oh gosh. Okay. So the only thing you really notice is you notice the sand has been you notice the sand's been disturbed in a way that it's gone in a certain direction. You can't. There's no trail. You can't see a trail. You know maybe a little bit an idea where it's gone. Just a little. You know which way it left the sand pit, but you don't know what direction it went.
She's gonna walk in that direction and just keep calling out for it. And the longer it goes that she can't find it, she's gonna get more and more upset.
Oh
no. And is it hiding from her?
Let's see. Oh no!
I think
that's
that
not
in
what I
my
meant to roll.
that may be the incorrect. I'm like, wait, what?
D200 is not. D200
It is incorrect.
Yes, so I mean, you can roll perception if you want and see.
This is not something she's good at, but
I know.
yeah, no.
With that perception, could I even argue to say that she, with that low perception, she's so worried and calling out for this thing that she gets lost. She's not noticing where she's going. She's just concerned about finding this thing.
Yeah, and like her survival is a -1 as well, so it's like she's got no idea where she is. She's just been trying to find her new friend, and now she's also like crying a little bit, so she's got tears in her eyes. And I think after a little while, she's just going to realize, oh, wait, where the hell am I? And she's just going to sort of stop and just sit down and cry a little.
Oh no. Oh baby. Okay. Alright, hang on a second. Let me just roll one more thing again and see how that goes. Shush. Shush, dishwasher. Okay, cool. That's that one. And now one more. If you will let me type, please. There we go. Okay. Okay. So yeah, so she sat down. I don't know where would you say she sat? She just plopped herself down in the middle of the brush. Where would you say she's gotten herself into? What would you say?
Yeah, she's probably in, like, if it's the park I'm picturing, it's got like a big open areas and the play areas, but then it's also got like little foresty glade bits. And she's just sort of wandered into one of those and is just plopped down kind of under a tree.
Oh, okay. So as you pop down under the tree, I'm not gonna make you roll perception because perception's been bullying you today. um, you you
He
notice
really has.
as she's having a little cry sitting under the tree. You hear a shh coming from above you.
And she's going to sort of stop and then blink a few times and then look straight up.
And I need to roll one more thing. I forgot to roll it, but I should probably roll this. Right, let's do that again. Fight, fight, fight. Oh, okay, good. Okay, good news. As you look up, and directly above you, hanging by one root, one of its back roots from a branch above you, is your big plant pupper. It's a big plant pupper, and it's sort of hanging upside down, a bit like a bat. So it's got one hanging on to it, and then both of the wings are sort of floofed around the body, and you can't see its head, and it's just sort of cocooned up there, one leg, and it's swaying very
Oh
gently
dear.
side to side.
She's gonna blink a few times and then give her eyes a big rub, get the tears out, and then stand up and turn around so that she's not craning her neck or anything, and then just point and go, "There you are! I found you!"
Okay, so it's not going to startle because with that perception I did earlier, it knows you're there. It slowly unfolds, like it does the peak. It does the little like the little leaf peak, so it opens the palm tree leaves sort of shift a bit, and you can see like a bit of its head, a bit of the face of the flower poking out a little and looking at you, and it's not coming down. It's just looking at you right now.
She's gonna put her hands on her hips and just sort of shake her head a little bit. If you wanted to play hide and seek, you should have told me. I was really worried. And she sort of puffed out her cheeks a bit and puffed up her chest a bit, trying to look all indignant.
this thing, this thing's gonna look down at her, and it's going to do. I'm gonna do another one of those. Why not? It's going to jump down and oh, okay. So it's gonna jump down and see. I presume you're still standing underneath that tree, so it's gonna jump down and it's gonna try and land in front of you, and it looks like it's trying to do a flip in the air, but it doesn't quite get enough momentum, and instead of doing like a cool somersault and landing on its feet, it sort of jumps onto its back next to you. floats and its legs are just sort of swinging in the air. The leaves are flat against the ground, and its neck is just back on the ground. And it slowly turns towards you.
Aww. She's gonna come over and she's gonna come up and use both hands to pet their petals. You shouldn't run away like that. I was really worried about you.
Oh, hey, do you want to roll? You want to roll quick? No, I won't make you roll that because it's bullying you. I was gonna make you roll a quick perception, but I'm not having that. I'm not gonna let you do that. So as you reach forward to pet this thing's petals, hey, what would you say? What would you say is Missy's favorite kind of smell?
That's a good
It
question.
doesn't have to be like a specific thing. It could just be like sweet or spicy or what have you.
Probably definitely sweet.
Sweet. Okay. So as you reach forward and you start to pet this thing's petals, are you being very gentle, Missy? Are you being very gentle with this? Or are you
Oh yeah, she's being very, very careful.
Good. So as you pet petals and behind the petals and the little bud behind that makes up the rest of the head, Missy, you smell something really really nice. You smell something really really nice, really sweet, really lovely coming out of this thing, and yeah, it smells happy. Like it's weird. You don't know how you know what what that smells like, but it smells happy.
Oh, that's going to make her smile. And then she's going to sort of stop and then she's going to listen very carefully. And I am going to roll a perception, but she's trying to hear its theme. What's her perception? 12. So, like her brother, Missy is from the score and she can hear themes. And she can smell this happy sort of smell. It's like, oh, okay, hang on, how does it sound? And she's focusing really hard on trying to hear the background music for this creature.
Okay, so she is going to hear. She's going to hear. Um, she's gonna hear something like something like wind going through the trees. She's gonna hear something like a gust of wind blowing through, blowing across like. She's gonna hear something like a gust of wind blowing across a plain. She's gonna hear the sound of a chime, or perhaps some sort of flute, or some kind of um, some kind of woodwind, some kind of wind blowing instrument. I don't think she'll be able to quite pick out which one, but yeah, no, it sounds like wind blowing, essentially.
Cool. And is she getting that same sort of happy feeling from the what she can hear as what she can smell?
Um, she doesn't get doesn't get a sense of happy. She gets the sense of free. She gets the sense of freedom
Hmm.
more so than happy.
That's still nice though.
Yeah.
And she just sort of smiles and gives it some more pats because it seems to like that.
Yes, it does. It likes it so much. Oh, you don't understand. Like this thing, you are petting it, likes it so much, it is wiggling again. Like its head is completely still. It has Missy on its back right now. Is Missy standing above it?
No, she's sort of standing. How do I explain it? So, like, his body is directly opposite to, on the other side of his head to Missy.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
If that makes sense.
Yes. Do you want to roll me another deck save?
Sure.
Okay, you don't get out of this one. Missy, Don't get out of this one. You see it coming, but you can't dodge because it's too quick. This thing reaches up and it loops its front legs, roots around you, and it pulls you over and down, and it's giving you a big old cuddle. It has pulled you tight, and it is
No.
it's doing the little, like, you know when you hold something very tightly and you just sort of swish your body side to side a little. It's doing that.
Yes.
Yes, good.
Oh, she's gonna giggle as soon as she realizes it's a hug, and she's gonna hug it back as much as she can.
Aw. I'm gonna roll something very quickly. Oh my gosh, of course.
Oh
Okay.
no.
Okay. Let's hope this doesn't go like it did last time.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Okay. So, while it's like rocking Missy side to side, one of its roots goes to reach underneath its wing, and it pulls out it pulls out a very, like, a blunt knife. It's like one of those
Huh.
like a gardening sort of knife. It's like what do you call them? I can't think of the word right now, but it's just like something you use to
You know, I know what you mean.
wet
For
grass. Yeah.
helping dig out weeds and stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, word aren't good right now. It's one of those.
Oh, good.
It's one of those, and it looks at it, and then I don't know if Missy has noticed, but if they haven't, I'm gonna put it back underneath their wing, and we're gonna roll again. I need to do that, don't I? Right, okay, 8.
8, that's fine.
That's better. So yeah, it reaches underneath its wing again, and then it pulls out. It pulls out. It looks like a bundle of flowers, but it also looks. I mean, you want to roll quick perception for me? Sorry, I'm making you roll lots of perception
Sure.
at the moment. I am bullying
That's
you.
okay.
17.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
okay.
She notices. Okay, so you whilst it's hugging you, you do notice it's reached underneath and it's pulled out its hand again from its hammer space. Well, you assumed if it's its hammer space, but then you look at its hand and the flowers it's pulled out don't appear to be loose. They appear to be attached to its roots. So this could have come from its hammer space, but it might be that this thing has just reached in and grown. It's you don't know, but this thing is this thing's got daisies attached to its hand now. It's like its hand is a bouquet of daisies.
Oh, she's gonna gasp. That's so pretty.
Just gonna look at you, and then it's gonna sit up, and as it sits up, it's gonna sit forward. So Missy's gonna like slide down, and then on the ground
Mm.
in front of it, and as it sits forward and holds out its bouquet of daisies for Missy, it's gonna start plucking daisies off of its root hand and setting them on the floor beside it.
Oh, I know what to do with these. And she's gonna start picking them up as they put them down, and she's gonna start threading them together.
Yay!
And how many daisies are we looking at here?
Oh, that's a good question. So I'm gonna go off that perception you rolled earlier. You notice as you keep plucking the daisies and threading them together, it doesn't seem like they're running out. It seems like for every daisy you pluck, you look
Oh,
up
splendid.
and there's another one taking its place.
Wonderful.
Infinite daisy chain.
Great. Okay, in that case, what she's going to do is she's going to keep going until she's made it a flower crown big enough for her, and then she's going to keep going, and she's going to she's going to hold it up and keep seeing whether or not she could get it to sort of sit on the sunflower head. She's like, is that going to be big enough? No, I need some more. And she's going to spend a significant amount of time doing this, and I feel this is probably probably when somebody else enters the scene. What do you reckon?
I would assume so. I would think so,
Yeah. How about we get them both to roll a perception real quick? Okay, Missy's noticed.
Huh.
I'm gonna say that's enough.
Yeah.
He's not
It
being
takes
subtle
longer.
about it.
Yeah, he think it would take longer for this thing to notice. It's so enthralled watching watching Missy Fred these daisies together. It's fascinating. It's just staring at her, and then it's hand of daisies, and then at her, and it's hand of daisies, and it's just slowly tilting its head between the two as she's doing this.
And then it twigs as he runs over through the trees, and he's got his spear in one hand, and he's considerably out of breath. And suddenly Chifley's there.
Oh God!
He's
Oh
still
no!
wearing his work coat. He's sprinted all the way from the ECCR, and he's just, Missy, Missy, you, what the hell? And he just sort of stops, and he's got his spear in hand, and he's just like, okay.
Just imagine he's got like twigs and bits of leaves sticking out of his hair, and he's got like
Yeah, because he's sort of like, I don't care that these trees are in the way. I am running in this direction and this direction only.
Oh gosh.
Uh,
Oh no, okay, so you've just come in and you got your spear out, you said. Okay. Let me
oh, yeah.
let me roll a thing quickly. What would it be? It would be that. Surprisingly, very good at this.
Ooh,
Oh, nice, 19.
that's a
Away you
19.
go. This thing, I mean, this thing holds still as it looks at you. As it looks at Chifley. I don't know if how Missy reacts, but this thing looks at you, and it very, very carefully sort of shuffles like a little bit, like just a tidgy bit. It shuffles a little bit away from Missy as it looks at you, but it's also kind of tense. Like it's not wiggling anymore. This thing is very still.
And Missy's going to look up and see her brother there and stand up. But Chifley, I made a friend. I don't know its name. It can't talk, but look, I made a friend. What is it, Missy? A sunflower? I suppose. Look, we made a flower crown. See? And you can just sort of see Chifley going, like he's caught between, encouraging his sister and then also what the actual hell is this thing that took her from school? It's like, Missy, can you come over here, please? How come? Please. Can my friend come too? And he is so conflicted right now.
Hey, Chifley, you want to roll a quick perception or insight for me, please?
Yeah, I'm gonna use insight because his insight is hell of a lot better than anything else. 18.
Okay. So I just rolled before was an intimidation roll. And I got so like your initial impression, Chifley, was a giant plant creature close to your sister, and you had no idea what its intentions were. It was just sitting there. It looked very big and very intimidating, and it was sitting next to your sister. And then you take another look, and you're just it looks so like it's large, but it's so like unthreatening as possible. I think it's just its wings aren't flared up. It's just sort of flipped to the side. It's got a very lax sort of posture to it. Its head's doing the little tilt, 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 looking at you. And its hand is full of daisies. I mean, it's not got a weapon out. It's just a handful of daisies. and it's just looking at you with tilted
I
head.
think with that, he probably can tell that this plant creature probably doesn't appreciate the whole Chifley being armed and angry kind of thing. He's like, oh, okay, I think I frightened it.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit, maybe.
Right. And he's just sort of squinting at it.
Chifley, you get the impression it doesn't have any eyes or a face. You do get the impression this thing is squinting back at you. It's giving you the poppy eyes.
Right. He's just gonna kind of sigh a little bit, and he's gonna put his spear away, and then as Missy comes over, he's going to check her for injuries or whatever, and then sighs like, "Did this sunflower friend of yours take you from school?"
Well, yeah. But I climbed on its back. I thought it was just a flower. I was going to pick it to press it. But then we went on a big ride and we came here and I'm like, oh, it wants to play. And we played with the ball and we played in the sand. You should have seen our sandcastle, Chifley. It was beautiful. It was so fun. And then we were making daisy chains. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
What's Chifley's passive perception? You said it was like 15, didn't you?
Yeah, it's 15.
Okay, so he's gonna, as Missy's going on, Chifley, you're gonna notice this. You're gonna hear a little soft sound of something moving behind you, and you're gonna notice the shadow being cast over your shoulder. And if you look behind you, you're gonna notice this thing.
Oh, he's gonna look.
Yeah, this thing is standing behind you now. The daisies on its hand are gone. And it's just standing behind you and looking at you. It's not looming because of that intimidation roll earlier. This thing is a soft boy. It's just a soft baby. It's not here to hurt, but it is just sort of standing there and staring at you.
He's just sort of gonna frown slightly and then turn around to look at it like, you really shouldn't take people from school. He doesn't know how to address this giant flower thing. Missy, you said it didn't have a name?
Well, it can't talk, but it understands words.
Right.
Let me roll something. Good. Okay. Cool. So as you two are looking and having the talk about its name or about how it can't speak, it's gonna reach underneath its wing again and pull something out of its hammer space.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna hold it out to Chifley. It's a piece of paper.
Okay. Oh, well, he's going to take it and look at it.
Okay. On the piece of paper, it says, if this is handed to you, this is soul. They do not mean any harm, actually. They are very energetic, and if they do anything, I take no responsibility for it. If found, return to address, and you might recognize the name on the bottom. It says belonging to or grown by Lao Vis Blind.
Chifley's going to do a little bit of a double take at that. Huh. Well, according to this, Missy, his name is Soul.
Oh, it does have a name. Hi.
It's gonna look at
And Chifley's just gonna run a hand through his hair. I'm like, huh. I wonder if this is Lau's roommate. And he's just gonna. He's just a little stunned. He's just like, okay, I don't know what to do with this information.
Okay. I'm just gonna roll something again because you said Lao's name. Okay, cool. That's enough. So you say Lao, and this thing perks up at you, and it looks at you, and then it's gonna reach. It's gonna reach underneath its wing and pull something out, and it's gonna hold out a flower for you. Let me see, what one is it? It's not a daisy chain because they have already made a daisy chain. It is a tulip. It's holding out a single
Aw.
tulip to you.
Chifley will accept it and just look at it, and then he'll reach it down and put it in Missy's hair, and she's just gonna sit there and look really pleased with herself.
Oh, it's so good.
And then I'm gonna get Chifley to roll his hammer space real quick. Yep. He's gonna take out his own notebook and pen set, and he's gonna write something down on it, pull the page out, and hand it to Sol, and just say, "You should probably head home. I'm going to take Missy home too. Can you give this to Lao when you get there?"
And this thing is gonna look at the piece of paper for a hot minute, and then it's gonna look at you, and it's gonna look down at the paper. So very slowly pinch the piece of paper between two of its little roots and pull it out of your hand. It's gonna look at it, hold it up to its face, and inspect it. And it's just gonna tuck it underneath its wing. And you hear a little rustle as it goes into the space.
Good.
It doesn't understand paper, it doesn't understand words. But it looks back at you.
That's fair enough.
It looks back at you. And it looks back at Missy. And it's just gonna stand there for a little bit unless you like directly tell it to leave. It's just gonna wait and look back.
Chip's gonna shake his head a bit and be like, "All right, Missy, you're going back to school. I have to go back to work."
Aw, but I want to play with Sol some more.
Maybe some other day, okay?
Aw.
And then he's gonna look up at Sol and go, "You should head home before you get into trouble."
This thing looks at you both, and then it sits for a. It's actually, you know what? Let's roll one little roll left, because it might not even wouldn't. It would do this, wouldn't it? It would, if it will let me tab. I need to get to. Let me tab, please. My tabs are going nuts right now. I'm trying to get to the one tab I want. I'm gonna roll this again. Let's do this. 12. Okay, cool. So Chifley, as you say that you should get home and Missy needs to go back to school, you see this thing perk up a little and begin to reach for both of you, and then stop and put its hands back on the floor, and then puts its head to the side, looks at both of you. It's gonna put one of its fruity feet up and do a very slow kind of wave, like you know the way you do that little slow wave with the fingers, like the curly finger wave. It's gonna do that. It's gonna do that at both of you.
Aw.
And it's gonna turn around and it's gonna run into the brush. It's just gonna go into the woods.
Oh dear. And Missy's gonna wave after it. "Bye, Sol. This was fun." And Chifley's just gonna be shaking his head, and then he just pinches the bridge of his nose slightly. He's like, "You really live up to your name, don't you, Missy?"
I don't know what you're talking about, Chifley.
Oh.
And then he's just gonna take her by the hand and lead her off.
Oh. Let me do.
And
One last roll. One last roll, I promise. Okay, with that, you two do not notice that Sol may have gone off into the bushes, but it doesn't mean that they went home. So you on your walk to drop Mitty off at school, you drop her off. Perhaps you say your goodbyes, and then you head back to work. Neither of you have noticed that during your walk to school and then back to your workplace, you weren't maybe as alone as you thought as you both walk back.
Oh dear.
Yeah. It's safe to say Sol did not head directly home that day. It was
No, likely not.
yeah.
But I suppose the question is, when they get there eventually, did they give Lao the note?
That is a good question.
Or did they
That is
forget?
a very good question. And you know what? I'm gonna roll for that. One more roll. It would be straight intelligence. It wouldn't be a save. It would be oh yay. Oh yay. Okay. I would very much like for this to go a certain way. Oh, okay. Okay.
That's
So
not bad.
yeah, it gets home. It gets home, and Lau's probably pruning some of his other plants and such, and he's going to turn towards him and going to say, "Well, where have you been today, then, Sol? Have you broken anything? Actually, if you have, I don't want to know. Don't tell me. What? Where have you been? Please don't tell me you've bothered the cats again. Don't bother the cats, Sol. I've told you, don't bother them." And Val's just gonna rattle on to Sol, and whilst he's pruning, and Sol's just gonna sit there for a little bit and just watch Lao go around the living room, tending to his plants. It's going to take them a little while before they remember to give Lao the hand the note over to Lao, and they're going to reach under their wing and then pull out with a rustle and hand it over to Lao, and he's going to go, oh God, no, please. Sol, don't tell me you've gotten yourself another bloody court session. I can't keep going to these. And he's gonna take it and he's gonna open it. And what does it say?
Well, the immediate thing that jumps out is that it's not a court summons because it's been ripped out of a notebook.
Sigh.
But
He's gonna go, oh, thank God.
But it says, in a fairly decent handwriting, it says, "I found your roommate," and roommate is in quotes. "You might want to teach him not to take the kids from school. Luckily, my sister is of excellent spirits. Signed, Chifley Ford."
He's gonna look at this note. He's just gonna hold it in his hand for a good couple minutes, staring at this note. And he's gonna turn around and he's gonna look at Sol. And Sol's just gonna be like doing that little plant loaf on the floor, looking at them, happy as can be, not a care in the world. And Mel's gonna turn around to look at them, and he's gonna say, what is he gonna say? He's gonna say, "Sol, we've talked about this. If you're going to play with children, do it on schedule. Do not play children. Do not take them places. Do not take them to a secondary location. If you're going to play with them where they are, and leave them where they are. Please." We're lucky that this time it was just a please. It's okay. And let's see, do they?
Oh dear.
Oh, okay. So nat 20. So they do in fact
Oh.
understand the ramifications of what they've done, and they tilt their head to the side, and they sit and they look like they're thinking for a bit, and then a rapid up and down shake of the head. And yeah, they agree. Yes, okay, we will not take the children away from where they are. We will play with them where they are, and we will not remove them from the place that they are at. And I was just gonna sigh.
Oh.
Yeah. I was just gonna sigh, and he's gonna look at this piece of paper again, And he's gonna mutter, well, at least it's not some sort of threat of violence this time. It's better than the other ones. And he's gonna go into his kitchen. He's on a chair at the moment. He's in his chair. He's gonna go into the kitchen, and he's gonna open a drawer, and inside this drawer there's stacks of pieces of notes and different papers. They are organized.
Oh.
One is there are two quite heavy stacks of port summons. Some are for property damage. Some are for abduction. There's numerous different kinds of papers in here, and he looks
Oh no.
at the paper Chifley has given him, and he sighs, and he puts it in the drawer, and then he closes the drawer, and he turns away, and he looks at Soul and he says, "Well, if you're done playing for the day, I think it's time for you to go to bed, don't you?" And Soul looks at Lao and then looks out the window, and they go out the window, and outside this little window there is like a little lift that you could sort of roll onto. It goes onto this lift and it pulls itself up like a pulley system, and it goes into a greenhouse on the roof, and it settles down for the night, and it builds itself up in a little plant life, and it tucks its head underneath its wings, and Soul has had a very adventurous day, and yeah, we're gonna go take a little nap.
Bless.
That's it.
Oh.
La, la, la.
I think Chifley and Lao are going to have a conversation at some point.
Oh my god. This, I can confirm, this is not the first conversation someone has tried to have with Lao about this. Usually he hasn't done them before.
Oh, but that is a conversation for another day.
Yes. Yes. Alright.
Oh,
Well,
dear,
thank
dear.
you for listening, people. This has been a bit of a ride. We've both been a little bit sleepy. This has been a sleepy adventure
Oh,
with much mischief.
it has.
Much mischief.
Oh,
Alright.
and yeah, we'll see you at the next thing.
See you at the next thing. We'll see you when they next cause trouble.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Recording has